some perspective on how any budget compromise will be received by the full Congress. Let's turn now to David Vitter, Republican senator from Louisiana. He's in New Orleans. Senator, good morning to you.
Good morning, Russ. Good to be with you.
Well, we thank you for joining us today. Are you encouraged at all that President Obama says that certain entitlement programs like Social Security and Medicare are on the table?
Sure, that's encouraging. And I was in a meeting with the Speaker Thursday where he gave an update about the discussions, and they did seem to be certainly more positive than a week or 10 days before that. But I think the sides are quite far apart still, but at least it was a positive discussion. I think they're getting together again Sunday as
That's
positive.
Right. Sunday at 6 o'clock. Let me ask you, Senator, in that spirit of compromise, as we just heard from Witt, Democrats also want to raise taxes on the wealthy, something that we also just heard from Senator Boehner. Republicans are vehemently against. Do you see any movement at all on your side on this issue?
Well, I think there's a possibility about revenue through growth, revenue through tax reform and tax simplification, which could produce real growth. And of course, when you grow the economy, which we desperately need, we just heard about these horrible unemployment figures, you also produce more revenue. So I think that is the key area where we should focus.
It is July 8th. The deal has to be cut, some say by July 22nd. August 2nd is the deadline. How optimistic are you that a deal can be, in fact, reached by that time?
I think it's sort of a 50-50 proposition. I do hope everybody goes into the meeting and the discussion Sunday with no, absolutes or preconceived notions, but we need the right policy to produce growth, a better economy, and deficit reduction. A lot of conservatives like me are very much against significant tax hikes because it's going to do the opposite. And obviously, we want unemployment to go down, not up even further.
Is that your biggest concern, the tax hikes?
It is my biggest concern because I think it would stifle any recovery. It would increase unemployment yet more, which is horrible in and of itself, but also would kill the prospects of deficit reduction. We need growth and prosperity for deficit reduction as well as cuts in spending.
Let's talk about the way Americans are thinking right now. Politicians are not very high on the list of many Americans these days. I mean, if a deal is not cut, don't both sides stand to lose a whole lot politically?
Yeah, I think that's true. And certainly nobody wants to go past a true deadline about the debt limit. I don't think August 2nd is absolutely set in stone. The world doesn't end the next day. But certainly sometime soon after that, serious consequences would follow.
What advice would you have for your colleagues going to that meeting tomorrow night?
To be imaginative, to lay out the case strongly about why we need growth. And growth can produce more revenue, new revenue. That's an important part of the solution, but that's a whole lot different than just hiking up taxes on folks.
Senator David Vitter joining us from New Orleans today. We thank you so much. Have a good Saturday.